If you are anything like me and are just thinking, wow, win some, yeah, you lose some, then you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Appreciate you being here. As some might be looking for us on Instagram, that's where you win some, you lose some. Sometimes that little stream key works just nicely. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes we can go live, and sometimes we cannot. And it's amazing that even the people that know me don't really understand, as they're calling right now, that I'm streaming every day at 11 o'clock right here on wherever it is that you get your social from, and occasionally on Instagram. Holy mackerel, what an ordeal! But hey, I know tomorrow's FAFO Friday, and I was going to do a little bit more on this topic, so I wanted to do it today instead of tomorrow, because tomorrow's all about the funsies. Okay, tomorrow's all about having a good time, and FAFO Friday is going to be alive and well. But today, some really discouraging news that I think we should all have a discussion about, because there's several facets to it, and it's not just the one that you think it might be. And what I mean is this headline. Listen to this. Public approval for hunting and recreational shooting continues to decline in the United States. A new survey of national attitudes towards hunting and recreational shooting shows a decline in public support for both activities, continuing the downward trend first registered in, you ready for this? 2022. Again, this is not a show about politics. We are not doing politics here. It continues. While most Americans will support hunting and recreational shooting, that support is declining. Public support is not the lowest on record, but it is significantly below the 81% approval that we saw in 2021. The report also highlights the importance of understanding public opinion nuances to improve communication and engagement strategies with the outdoor industry. Now, I'm going to say, thanks for playing right there. Not with the outdoor industry, with the public at large, with we the people. You see, it's what kind of a message do you think you're going to get from Ruger, from Matthews Bows, from PSE, from Remington Ammunition, Remington Firearms? What kind of a message do you think you're going to get? The same message you expect to get. A very pro shooting, pro hunting, pro outdoors message. So it isn't our communication with the outdoor industry. It's the outdoor industry's communication with us, with you and I, with we the people. And more importantly, going back to I think that point where what message do you think you're going to get from Sig Sauer? Pro shooting, pro ammunition. That's what you're going to get. The message comes from you and I. And when the message comes from you and I and conservation groups around the nation and around this state, then there's impact. You see, there was a time before one of the best outdoor moves, one of the best conservation moves I have seen in my history of doing this, and the show's been on for 11 years. This is the first year we've done it every single day, and I think it's what is needed. But the best I've ever heard, the best move, excuse me, was when Game and Fish decided, Arizona Game Fish, your Arizona Game Fish Department, decided to make a youth hunting and fishing combo license $5. Here's why they did that. By the way, yes, until you're 18 years old, an entire calendar year hunting and fishing license. If you go buy it right now, it's good till June 25th of 2025 or June 24th at midnight. You know how that works. It's an entire year. And it used to not be like that. It was just for this year. So you only had that much left on your license. But no, they went and made changes. Why? Because of another survey that they were reacting to. And they were doing so magically. At that time, the average age of a hunting, fishing combo license holder went up. The average age went up 1 year every year. That's important to know. What does that mean? That means that the average age goes up 1 year every year, and people are going out of the system, and there's no backfill of lower ages. So Game and Fish, and again, whoever came up with this idea, God love you, you should win a prize. Let's make all hunting, fishing, like combo licenses $5 for kids 18 and under. Genius. and sales of licenses went up dramatically. So what did that do? That brought down, for the first time in a long time, the average age of a hunt fish combo license holder. That's what we needed. Because as we understand, without it, we don't have money for conservation. Without us, we don't have money for conservation, period. Again, Game and Fish Department and conservation departments in each and every state get $0 from the general fund, general tax fund of their state. It comes from an excise tax on outdoor equipment. And I'm just being very general when I say outdoor equipment, called P&R funds, Pittman Robertson. And if you get rid of the desire to go out and camp, to buy a firearm, to buy ammunition, what happens to the funding for conservation? What happens to the funding for your Arizona Game and Fish Department? It goes down or just decreases to nothing. So just in the funding for conservation alone, you see a mad desire and a mad need for younger people to come up. Now, these younger people, this is where we're going to get into the issue here. Because younger people are basically the peeps, we the people that are saying, yeah, hunting, fishing, shooting sports, I was told the guns are bad. Okay, guns are bad. That's their life. And you say, Mike, but I just heard that Wapiti weekend for Arizona Elk Society had like 100 and something campers, and it was amazing. It was a fantastic experience. Do you know who's taking those kids? The same people that are going to all of the banquets. You're like, oh yeah, the banquets are full. I mean, conservation's big. Conservation's a big thing. Yeah, I don't see this whole support going down for hunting and shooting sports. I think that survey was wrong. It might have been somewhere in some liberal part of California or New York. Nope. No, it's not. Because again, we already have those kids that are at the Wapiti weekend, all the kids events all throughout the year. Those parents are taking them. Why? Because they're either signing up at these events at the banquets that they're going to, or they're just going to take their kids anyway. They're like, hey, you're darn right you're going to go do this. Very seldom is there somebody that comes into these camps that actually, I apologize. The minority number of kids that go to these camps are parents that are just like, I want my kid to have something to do, and I hope outdoors to be fun for them. No, the majority are. Did you get drawn? Yeah. Did you get drawn? Yeah. No, I didn't get drawn. And then that's when they're dropping their kids off, and they're all, oh, hey, Mike, how you doing? Tim, how you doing? Dave, good to see you again. Yeah, same group. So don't take attendance of banquets or attendance of kids camps or youth events as a counter argument for what the real numbers are saying. The real numbers are talking about support. Now, there's so much more to this. Let's start with the first and most obvious. This goes without saying. The North American model of wildlife conservation is not being taught in schools. Am I going to change that today? Am I going to start a petition drive? No, I'm not. It's just the state of things. It's not being taught. So when you hear things like what they call an assault weapons ban, which we call a modern sporting rifle, which is the most popular sporting rifle in the United States, millions sold every single year. We ban those sales. We ban millions of dollars for conservation in this nation. We got to know that. You got to know that with every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I think I just made that up. Yeah. So can I get that? Intern Baines, get that on a t-shirt. I can come up with a few of them. I got a few more. Yeah. I will stay in motion until never mind. There has to be an education there to realize that when you ban something that funds something, that funding goes away for that something. Where are you going to get that funding from? I'll use this again. This is not a political show. This proves the point. California for years has told their people, save money on gas, save money on gas. Gas is $9 a gallon. Save money, buy an electric vehicle, save money. Well, what they didn't think about is when they spent all the money for the electric vehicles and they got all these people to buy electric vehicles, that their funding for highways and roads came from a tax per gallon of gas. And they're like, well, we're kind of hosed now. We're totally hosed. We now have to impose what they're testing now is a 30 cent per mile driven tax on people that did the right thing and bought electric vehicles to save money on gas. Now they have to pay more because they're not spending money on gas. So what happens when you tell the kids, tell this generation that guns are bad? Not people are bad, guns are bad. Firearms are bad. Firearms are weapons, and we take the most popular firearm we have and we rename it assault weapon. Military grade assault weapon. Come on, please. It is quite literally my favorite hunting rifle. When I have to pull out my 270 or 30-06, I'm bummed out. And I love those firearms. If I can't hunt with my AR, I get upset because I'm crazy accurate with it. It is so accurate. And yeah, I get bummed out when I can't. So to take that away and say it's not used for hunting and no one needs that for hunting, you take millions of dollars off of the table for conservation, not only because of the excise tax, because the next generation sees that firearm is bad, then sees all firearms bad. That's bad. That's bad. So hunting, the support, the public support for hunting and firearm shooting sports, is going down and decreasing. There are several reasons for it, and that's one. We're being taught guns are bad, okay? Guns are bad. Don't use guns. Guns are bad. And by the way, you're barking up the wrong tree, y'all. And I want everybody to know this. And this isn't because, again, not political. This is because I want you to have the ammunition, so to speak, when you speak intelligently to those that tell you, oh, you have an AR? Yeah, I got 3 of them. Why? No one needs one of those. No one needs one of those. Why? Because of all the mass shootings. Do you know that AR-15s are make up less than 1% of firearm deaths in this nation? Less than 1%. So tell me what banning them is going to do, y'all. Exactly. So again, if you are armed with facts, stats, and your argument is there's nothing to argue. You can't argue fact. This isn't opinion. But if you tell me that I don't need my AR for hunting, I will show you the wall mounts that I have just outside this studio that all come from an AR. Don't tell me I don't need it. As a matter of fact, what's he going to tell me? I don't need 2 cars. I don't need, whatever. Okay. I might not need it, but I'm an American and I want it. And when it comes to firearms, I may not need, but I want, and it's a constitutionally protected right. I'm down. You see, this brings me to the second thing, communication. And communication from us to them. And when I say them, I'm not talking about the opposite side, because there's no way you're going to get somebody from any town. And there's no way you're going to get anybody from Michael Bloomberg's anti-org, PETA, Humane Society of the U.S. You're not going to get any of those people to come around to your side. So I'm not talking about communicating to them. When I say them, I'm talking about we, the people that just are curious. Like, hey, Mike, really? You got 3 ARs? Like, dude, come on. You need 3 ARs? Again, I might not need them, but I want them, and I can have them because it's a constitution protected right. And here's all the benefits that come. Every time that thing goes boom, boom, money towards conservation. When I purchased it, money towards conservation. And my hunts are more accurate, more ethical, and less, almost 0% likelihood that the animal suffers. Tell me I don't need it. So that's the discussion. Let's have a talk. But don't just, you don't like ARs. Well, you must not like America. No. The way we communicate impacts this very study. This very study that says support for hunting and shooting sports is on the decline for the past 3 years. It was at 81%, y'all. If you can get 81% support for anything in this nation, run with it. That's amazing. We are divided as a people. We're divided as a sport, as us outdoorsmen in these critter groups and between the commission and all this, and everybody's this infighting and this bickering and this. Come on. We don't need to be divided here. So if you find anyone, even in our own ranks, to 81% to agree on something, congratulations. But the decline is bad. The decline is not good, because we could push it around 85 and just keep it there. And ladies and gentlemen, if we have support, 85% support, or let's just leave it at 80, who cares? 80% support for what we do in our way of life, hunting, fishing, and shooting sports are well protected. They're good. If we can maintain 80%, amazing. But the decline is there, and it comes from communication. Part of the communication is understanding where conservation is funded, knowing that we're not a bunch of Yosemite Sam, bloodthirsty, if it flies, it dies, if it's brown, it's down type of people, and that what we do in the shooting sports and hunting and fishing is pretty damn fun, and show them what a full freezer looks like, and then feed them some dang good food. Okay, that's part of what we need to do to communicate. But the education component is absolutely huge, because they're being taught the opposite. The kids, younger generation, being taught the opposite, and not that what we have done with the North American model is save species on top of species on top of species from the brink of extinction. Waterfowl, deer, bison. Bison were almost done until we regulated it and made essentially hunting seasons out of it to maintain healthy populations and healthy herds around the nation. That's us. We did that. Not only did we do it, we funded it. So it's that kind of education that would make a younger generation go, you know, that's pretty cool. All right. Intern Beans struggles with this. Intern Beans she's at a very liberal university. Well, they're all liberal. She's at a university right now where she said, Dad, you can't, sometimes my friends listen to you. Sometimes my friends know you're on air, and they'll go check out your site and they'll see a picture of me, like with my hog kill or something like that. She has to learn how to communicate that. I didn't take it down. Still there. She has to learn how to communicate with people in a very positive way. And if the people that are going to judge her for her dad posting that picture, one of those proud pictures I have, if she's going to be upset about, if she's going to let that get to her and she doesn't know how to defend that, or those people are going to get after her about it, she don't need those people. And she needs to learn how to communicate effectively for what we do. And not even communicate, is more of an advocacy, to advocate for what we do. And I'll go along with pictures. And if you're just joining us, I'll let you know what's going on. Kind of a headline I was going to wait for tomorrow, but this is definitely a longer conversation, as evidenced by the time in tomorrow's FAFO Friday. So we don't mess around with that, do we? No, we don't. Public approval for hunting and recreation shooting continues to decline in the United States. And it's true. It's scary. And it's going to have a ripple effect that will last for generations if we don't do something about it. So let's do it. Let's talk about something right now. It's going to tick a lot of people off. And by the way, I just thought of this because I just looked down at my phone. Not throwing anything out there. I know my buddy Mike listens to the show, watches the program. Love you, man. Reach out to me. And we got you in any way we can, man. Appreciate you. Anyway. It comes down to pictures in a discussion that we need to have that'll ruffle some feathers about grip and grins. We are now in a business of hearts and minds. And hearts and minds are of the people that aren't in our squad. We're not looking to recruit. We're looking to recruit. But we can't recruit unless we win hearts and minds. And here's the question then. Do grip and grins help, or do they hurt? I am an advocate of grip and grins. I love them if they're done wonderfully, properly, respectfully to the animal. I'm okay with that. For those who don't know what a grip and grin is when you harvest an animal, say you take a big elk, and then there's that, I'm holding onto the racks, I got the big smile, I'm gripping the racks and I'm grinning. Grip and grin. That's how it is. Oh, there's fish. And by the way, don't believe any hype on most of these grip and grins, by the way, because I'll get into that some other time. The nonsense I call shenanigans on most of these grip and grins. Here's what they'll do. They'll back up and they'll just touch the tine with their fingertips, looking like they're holding it, but they'll conceal their arms like such So it looks like these things are gigantic. It looks like it makes you look smaller, makes the rack look so much bigger. Fish anglers, oh, you do this. The anglers do this all the time. Fishermen do this all the time. They'll hold it out straight out to the camera. Look how big my fists look. Look how big my hands look. They look bigger than my whole body if I put them towards the camera. Okay, so if you're a proponent, if you're for grip and grins like I am, let's just do regular grip and grins, guys. Good. Look, if I'm holding a 7x7 elk rack, don't care how big it is. 7x7. What's up? If I'm holding a 10-pound bass, it doesn't matter if I'm pushing it towards the camera or not. 10-pound bass. What's up? Yeah, we know, and we know what's going on. There's a bunch of shenanigans with photo trickery, is what it is. But to the not us, to the people that aren't in our sport and aren't hanging out in our world and in our bubble, what do you think? So if I go onto the Go Show site and I'm like, he says everything outdoors. Is he talking about hiking and camping, and which we do? Is he talking about like cool cooking things in the outdoors? And is he talking about a stand-up paddleboard? To do? So I won't do. Just with 11 years, I've stuck to it. Terry, Riverbound Sports, I'm telling you, sorry. She's tried. She can try again. Always. Paddleboard, kayaking, whatever it is. Yeah, he talks about that. So why am I looking at his site right now and he's got this dead animal? I thought he was talking just about the outdoors. I don't know if this is all, look, there's blood all over this thing. I mean, I have one of intern Sarah that I will not post. My girlfriend Becky, she actually photoshopped it was just blood. We had to Photoshop the blood. It was so bad. There's no way I was going to post that. But I was very proud of Sarah, and I was very proud of the take. I was very proud of the meat, of the full freezer. I was proud of the whole thing. But that grip and grin was not pretty. Grip and grin was a bloody mess. So how does that teach? How does that show those that want to come in the fold that we aren't the Yosemite Sam types, the if it's brown, it's down, if it flies, it dies types? That's where we have to be conscious. So I think there's a middle ground there, because there's a good part of our community that is not posting on the social media their harvests, and they said it doesn't do good. And I think that it's a very, very good thing to at least be cognizant of that. Me, I'm okay with posting. I'm totally okay with posting. But it has to be shown with respect. I'm not going to relitigate this, because I think she has seen the error of her ways, and I applaud her for that, because I think she's a changed person. I hope she is. There is a name in the industry that I've had on this very show a few times, that has both an angling show and a hunting show. And she went on I think it was a bachelorette party, a bachelorette hunting trip. All right. A bachelorette hunting trip. And when they were taking pictures of these doll sheep, I don't even know what they were hunting. There was snow all around, and it was some sort of a sheep. She posed with a adult toy that had blood on it with her harvest. And it was not for publication. It was not to be shared. But one of the girls in the group decided to leak that photo. Damn it, she should know better. She should know better. Could you bleeping imagine how many people? I think the Mail Online got a hold of it, and I don't know any publications here that got a hold of it. But can you imagine if you're just neutral into what we do with supporting hunting and the shooting sports, which again, we're talking about right now, a study that shows it's on the decline for the third year in a row. It's gone from 81% around mid 70s. That's dangerous. That's critical levels. We don't want it down there. But could you imagine if you were just kind of neutral, you're like, all right, well, see what a huntress did. What she did. And you see the picture. Yeah, I'd even be clutching my pearls. I called her out on this. I think we're good now, but I called her out on this. Because how dare you? That does not work. So obviously that is an extreme, and I mean very extreme example, something I hope we never see again, and I've never seen before, so I doubt we'll see again. Example of what not to do when it comes to grip and grins. All right, dear. What are you saying here? I think there's an ethical way to showcase. I hate seeing the tongue hanging out right there and blood everywhere. Clean up the harvest in honor of the animal and others. Right there. Exactly right, Becky. It's the same. And you and you helped me clean up Sarah's. I don't even know if it was possible to clean it up all the way. But you're a Jedi with Photoshop, so amazing. But you clean it up as out of respect, not only out of respect for what we do, respect for the animal, but respect for the people that are just thumbing along, scrolling along in some algorithm because you've been posting pictures of all these hikes that you're on, and some hiker that isn't a hunter goes along and all of a sudden you've got this bloody mess of a deer in front of you, and you're like, geez. For that, now that heart and mind is gone. Gone. We will not get that heart and mind back. They're the people that are being asked about hunting and shooting sports and going, yeah, no. Because most likely they saw some business that they can't back. And I ain't blaming them. I don't blame them. So I think there is a way. I don't think there should really be a debate on grip and grins. I don't think should debate. Share your harvest. Celebrate what we do. God love us for what we do. We are the front lines in funding conservation. We are a tool that conservation departments uses to maintain healthy populations of animals for the whole circle of life to go around here. Be proud of what we do. I'm never saying don't be proud of what we do. But that is the fourth thing that I want to discuss and how to turn this around. Wear what you do with pride. Yes, I am an outdoorsman. That doesn't mean we got to wear camo every day. But when you're asked about it, oh, you kill animals, be ready for it, be respectful, and be proud of what you do. There's nothing wrong with what we do. In every single thing you think of in life, there are people that do things that aren't respectful of the entire group. The vast majority of our group is doing the right thing, doing the ethical thing, and just being awesome. And being a part of a great system of conservation in this nation and in this world, we should be proud of that. So be proud of that, especially in your grip and grins. Clean them up. It's as easy as you got the water bottle, just kind of, you got to do it. You got to do it. Sacrifice a beer. That's fine. Come clean things up a little bit, and at the same time, give a little one for the homie that just went down, right? Okay. Come on. Same thing. We got this, y'all. We do. It's going to take us, though. So just be okay with that. Be in the game. Understand the North American model. Be respectful. Listen to others. We're going to be just fine. We can keep this around 80 if we work hard and do so and don't jack around. Yeah. And Lynn, why post it online anyway? Because again, I feel that I'm proud. I'm very proud of it. I have a picture of me with a 52-pound white sea bass. Heck yeah. Insanely proud of that. That entire day made me proud of that one catch. So I was very proud of that. It wasn't disrespectful to the animal. It was showing the beauty of the animal. Later on, I showed how I prepared it. I showed how it was cooked. I gave thanks to this animal. That's why, at least to me. And if you're not into the grip and grin thing, that's fine. Keep scrolling. That's another little thing there. Another thing that popped into my nugget. If you keep scrolling, and you're an outdoorsman, and you see one of those bloody mess pictures, call them out. Call them out. We're a team here, people. This is a team event. We're all in this together. Literally I'm not going to sing a Disney song. Hunters, non-hunters, shooters, non-shooters. Believe it or not, if we like everything that we have, the animals, the plants, the fauna, the flora, the air we breathe, the streams, the rivers, we want all of that to work well. We're all in this together. People, we can get along. It's okay. We can disagree. But we get to call each other out as well. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. That's fine. I understand that. It was a good question, Lynn. Why post it? Hey, tomorrow's FAFO Friday. It is. Let's go. Let's wrap this week up with a bang right here at 11 o'clock. Be here on the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors, this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Have a great afternoon, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 11.